Saturday, but today it is because we have more cricket action happening right here. It's not only on air, you can also catch this online. All you need to do is go to the Cricket All Round Facebook page, or you could just visit Radio 1 Facebook page as well, and you can just click on the link, and you can catch all the cricket action live. And of course, I have Atul Wassan with me today. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
And Atul, well, I'm guessing you caught the action today. West Indies versus Pakistan. Everybody expected it to be a close game because both teams desperately needed a win. But it was, in the end of the day, a really bad day for Pakistan once again.
You know, the problem here is that you don't know which West Indies will turn up for a game. It can be as bad as losing to Ireland and just something decent enough team. And on its day, it can beat any top team in the world.
Right.
So I think, in spite of what has happened of them losing players in the team, Bravo and Pollard and Ryan not there, they can still be dangerous. So India better watch out. Because in spite of this loss, they're still dangerous.
They're still dangerous. All right, fine. And Andre Russell, what a performance. A great all-round performance by Andre Russell. I mean,
I've been following
in 12 balls.
You know, I saw him a few years ago playing in the Bangladesh League, and he was not a part of the West Indies team. And I was asking a lot of people, how can you leave out a player like that? Because he's a natural athlete.
Yeah.
He bowls at a decent pace. He's got variety, and he can thump the ball. You know, perfect for T20. Yes.
Okay.
From a T20 perspective, some players find it hard to take that step to one-day cricket.
Right.
And I think this World Cup will define him. Probably he realized he's a much better player just to be not to be compartmentalized in T20.
All right. Well, West Indies Pakistan action, but we are here mostly to talk about India and South Africa, the big game happening tomorrow. So all that cricket action and more happening right here on the Cricket Hangout. And remember, you can catch it online as well. Just go to the Cricket All Round Facebook page or go to Radio 1 Delhi Facebook page right now and catch it online. And more music coming up on air right now. It's going to be Lily Allen with The Fear, and we're going to continue this discussion online like I just pointed out.
Stay connected to the international hits you love. 94.3 Radio 1, Delhi NCR's only international station.
All right, welcome to everybody now on the Cricket Hangout, of course. We have a few people joining us, apart from Atul Wassan. I've got RJ Pajosh from Bangalore. Hello.
Good evening, Atul ji. How are you?
First class, sir. Thank you.
All right, we also have Ayush from Ahmedabad, Radio 1.
Hi, good evening, Melvin. Good evening, Atul. Seeing you on the television and now right in front of my computer screen, it feels really nice.
And we also have Anshu and Tarun from Pune as well.
Hello.
Hello, Atul.
Hi, Atul.
All right, and we also have some cricket fans joining us. Imam.
Hi, Melvin. Hi, Atul. Glad to get this opportunity. One of the best all-rounders of Indian cricket on screen right now. So looking forward to having a conversation with you.
All right, Priyansh as well.
Hi Melvin and hi Atul. It's my pleasure to come on this hangout, and I really look forward to it.
Sunny, hello. Sunny's with us.
Hi Atul. Actually, it's a very great moment for me to join you on this cricket hangout. Looking forward to South Africa and India match.
Let's discuss.
Let's discuss this. Okay, finally one last hello to Andre as well. Andre, you here? Okay, Andre, can you hear me? All right. Well, we will probably get Andre in just a bit. All right. So India, South Africa, the big game. It is a mouth-watering proposition, isn't it? It's happening tomorrow. Everyone's looking forward to it, and South Africa looks like the best team on paper.
It's mouth-watering, yes and no. I'm glad that we're playing them now when we are more or less assured of a place in quarterfinals, rather than playing them in a
crunch
playoff,
game. Yeah.
And because I think South Africa is serious contenders this time.
Yeah.
But you never know with them. As I said about West Indies, everybody knows they're the chokers, and I just hope that probably they can cross the line. Nobody's rating India. I'm not rating India's chances very well. I think they'll go up to quarterfinals. Then it's anybody's game. On a given day, anybody can beat anybody. But South Africa, their personnel, their balance of the team, it just looks too
so good. Perfect. Yeah, it's just, and for the first time, normally we're all used to a South African side with lots of all-rounders, but this time around they're all specialists and they're doing their job to the T, and it's just looking really, really good for them.
Yeah, and the conditions also. I mean, if this was being played in subcontinent, I would say that they don't have a top-class spinner or two.
Right.
Actually, push teams. But here they don't need the spinners. They've got the all-rounders. They've got the fast bowlers. They've got the medium pacers. They've got trundlers. They've got the bits and pieces spinners in Dumini and Imran Tahir. Imran Tahir probably against India will feel the most pressure. I think against other teams he will be relaxed.
All right, well, let's get everybody else on board and figure out what they are looking forward to. India, South Africa, big match. Pijosh, what do you think? Do you think India's going to have it easy or it's going to be problematic? I mean, South Africa, they just look scary.
I have to agree with Atul. Actually, tomorrow's game will basically decide who goes top of the table. B1, B2. That will basically do it tomorrow. And it's good that we're playing them so early because later on it's just going to be sit down completely for Team India.
It definitely is. And Ayush, your thoughts?
Well, I'm looking forward to this match. Probably I might be skeptical when it comes to the basic Indian fan that I am, but the South African team looks really, really aggressive when they go onto the field, especially lower down the order. The 2 centuries coming from players number 5 and 6 was amazing. I mean, they got Dumini out. Sorry, they got De Villiers out, and Dumini and Miller. They just ransacked Zimbabwe.
Right. Right, absolutely. I mean, South Africa with players like.
Melvin, I'm just going to cut in right now. We're going to go live in Bangalore.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
In 10 seconds.
Poetry.
It's a bright and sunny Saturday evening out here in the city of Bengaluru. Welcome to the all-exclusive Google Plus Hangout that's happening right now. Joining me is, of course, the cricket expert, like we mentioned, Atul Wassan. Good evening, Atul, and welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm all right. This is sunny and bright in Delhi as well.
It's a pleasure to have you on board. I want to take you back to last Sunday, India versus Pakistan. The big question really is, was this game, or did Pakistan just give it to us on a platter, and were there any loopholes that you saw?
I'm just Pakistan to India. You know, even with Cups, they've had much better teams than the '99 World Cup. They played the finals. They were a backside, and in '92 also they were a better side. And probably in 2007, eventually they find a not the abilities, not the potential, not the name. It's got to do with how they handle pressure. I think boys, mentally, financially, where they are in life, Pakistani players, you know, who are compared to Indian players, and they're too scared to lose. You can see that they did not play fearlessly, and hence they won away.
Fantastic. Well, we got to agree with Atul there. We'll take a short break right now. Remember, the conversation continues online as well. You can catch all the action. Just log on to the Cricket All Round Facebook page or the Radio 1 Bangalore Facebook page. Click on the link and catch all the action. For now, we'll take a short break on air, but the conversation continues online. Over to you guys.
Right, well, Ayush and Tarun and Anshu, of course, please feel free to cut me if you guys have to go on air, yeah? Just let us know whenever you need to. And of course, since Pijosh brought in India-Pakistan, I just want to ask you about this. Apparently, we have won out of those 6 matches. We won the toss, the 6, I think 5 times. I think it was 5 times, or I'm not exactly sure. 5 or 6 times? It's 6 times. Okay, 6 times.
They can't win a toss also.
So was that a factor in us winning the match? Because most of the time,
Alvin, sorry to interrupt you. We can't hear you clearly.
You can't hear it clearly, okay.
Me? Is it more clear now?
Your voice is very slow.
Even I'm breaking up when it comes to Delhi.
Yeah, okay. Breaking up, well, okay, we're just going to, just going to continue the conversation and hopefully you guys will be able to. So we can't really do much about that at this point. Yes, so
we talked about South.
Yeah.
I think this game was not a big factor because we were not sure whether it was good to bat first or to bowl first.
To bowl
so
first,
it was a good toss to win.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, when you win a good toss and it's 50-50,
Right.
you always tend to bat first.
Well, so out of all the 6 matches, the only time that India chased was in 2003 when Sachin got that brilliant 89
Yeah.
and won it for us. All the other times, India batted first. So is that one factor? Do you think that if Pakistan may have had a chance to probably bat first and put some pressure on, maybe it would have been different?
Well, you know what? I was there in '92 when we beat Pakistan. I was
Right.
part of the team. Then in '99, I was doing the commentary,
Okay.
and then Centurion, I was also watching. So I think I was part of those three great games, you know. And I think this one is too far away. I have too much work to do. But I think chasing is always an issue. And Pakistan again, it's about who keeps the nerves,
Right.
especially. I think bowlers actually collectively, but the batsman who's batting in there is the guy who's going to take it through.
Right.
And that knockout with Sachin and Sehwag, the way they started,
Oh, yes.
Wasim, Bakar,
Yeah.
Shoaib,
Right.
Saklan, you know,
Right.
wonderful bowling attack, and a
Absolutely, yeah.
Centurion. And the first ball that Sehwag cut,
Yes.
Sachin cut,
Shoaib.
Shoaib Akhtar
Yeah, sure.
for a six.
Well, I know.
It set the tone, and
I
that
still
was,
remember
and
that.
I think people don't remember the contribution of Yuvraj and Mohammad Kaif.
Right.
Two innings.
Absolutely. For Pakistan. And Dhoni did, of course, mention that, well, it will happen someday. They will win a match against us. So it's in this lifetime for sure it's going to happen. So we just have to stay ready. But yes, India, South Africa, the hot topic at the moment. And players like their batsman, Hashim Amla, who is chasing down every record of Virat Kohli's and doing it better at the moment. Hashim Amla, AB de Villiers, you've got David Miller there, you've got De Kock there, you have, you've got just absolute match winners, all 11 of them. Department, can you say about Morne Mokul, Dale Steyn, one of the best in world cricket today. They unbeatable. Right?
Embarrassment of riches, I must say. You know, but eventually, as we know, we got to keep on pressing the point that they choke, and I'm sure there's going to be sledging.
But isn't it too early to choke for them? Because it's not that stage.
You saw the press conference. I think they choked in the press conference as well. So you know, South Africans are a funny breed, but they're the players. Philander, we miss out. He's one of the key because he's the guy who swings the ball. And Steyn and Morkel is the bounce kind of a guy. Steyn is the pace, and Philander is the swing. So the variety is there. So anything out of the three happening on the ground, somebody is going to lap it up.
Right.
And I think the weak link will be the spin department. Imran Tahir, as I said, because Indians play spinners very well, and especially Imran Tahir, according to Indian standard, not very world class. For other teams against, he might be doing well.
Okay.
So that's where you got to target bowlers. Who you going to go after? And Steyn, you got to target who's going to go after Steyn. Can't be people who are not sure about their form. Has to be Virat Kohli.
Has to be.
So it's going to be the contest for me.
Okay.
But
Virat Kohli and Dale Steyn.
So
it is.
For Shikhar Dhawan has shown semblance of form. Ajinkya Rahane did not get runs, so he's due for runs. So I think all in all, I think India batting first has to score a 300 because of these are actually.
And if you're chasing, of course, hopefully Virat Kohli will give us another brilliant innings and chase it down.
It's unfair to ask the guy
every time.
But what can
he's become in a way like what Sachin Tendulkar was a few years ago.
With more power, you have to take more responsibility.
Absolutely. And in terms of Dale Steyn, do you think he's losing a little bit of his prowess because Zimbabwe seem to have handled him pretty well? And do you think the Indian batting lineup is pretty good compared to a Zimbabwean batting lineup? So do you think Dale Steyn is losing a little bit, or do you think?
Really, I think he can crank it up when he wants. He's a dangerous customer. He can just away like this. So never underestimate a world-class bowler like Dale Steyn. He came under the pump a bit by Masakatsa and Maire when he got hit. But that track was very flat. And I think Morkel also got hit around for a bit.
Right.
But any help, I think, and Indians have got a problem with the bounce, which Morkel provides. So Morkel is the key. So if you counterpunch Morkel, then he actually tends to disintegrate.
Right.
Dale Steyn comes back at you. So you've got to be attacking Morkel. So make sure that two bowlers are on that given day.
All right. So you're saying India should go into this game with a strategy of leaving out the dangerous bowlers and choosing a couple of bowlers who they're going to target. And
every game, I think if you're coming up against this team, you got to have a plan A, plan B, and a plan C. And you have to have the common sense to shift gears when you exactly need. So unless you have got a attacking strategy, if you're only reactive, then you'll lose.
Right.
If you're reactive, you got no place to hide. You got to be proactive. Proactive means denting them. So make sure that they have to think about it, because then they will come under pressure. Then the strike bowler is also under pressure.
All right. Well, let's bring in Sunny now. Sunny, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So Sunny, do you agree with Atul? I mean, okay, who do you think India should pick out in terms of South African bowlers? A couple of bowlers that they should pick out, and take them to the cleaners?
I think India would be looking to attack Dale Steyn in his first 2 overs. But both South African bowling will be cleaner. Actually, two facts that I'm bringing out is South Africa have won their 76% matches while batting first, but they've managed to win only 50% while chasing. So I think if India should win the toss, they should have to bat first because chasing pressure is always there on South African side.
I don't think that statistics means too much in a big game like that. It's all in the past, who has beaten whom. There's a lot of. It's good for the fans and for the partisan public to just drum up support. But on the given day, what is the stage? Are the main players, and that's the question. India is looking to play Vishnu Kumar, and I think he needs to be tested against the top side rather than play him against UAE, Zimbabwe. He's not match fit. He's not played proper cricket. He played that test match, and we know how ordinary he looked. So he has to come back into his good form because he was the premier all-rounder for this tournament. So this is the match. Put him there. If he doesn't come up, then he's out for my liking for full tournament.
Right.
But put him under pressure.
Well, we also get in Imam here, and Imam, your thoughts on this big cracker of the game, India South Africa.
Sure. Thanks, Melvin. I completely agree with Atul of what all points he made. Couple of observations which I have, Atul, is that Indian cricket team, as you said, bowlers picking bowlers. I think two key aspects would be how they play South Africa's fifth bowler. If you see the moment Callis left, there is a huge hole in terms of bowling and batting department in the middle order. There's nobody to stabilize innings. Everybody's a flashy player apart from Amla. And when you look at the bowling, the fifth bowler is always a Duvini or a Behradeen. I think Indian players had a very good plan against Pakistan. If you see the first 5-6 overs, they gave it to the bowlers. They looked at the conditions, and once they got used to it, then they went after the bowling. I think similar to that, if they do something like that, keep wickets in hand against South Africa, there'll be huge pressure knowing that Virat Kohli will come at 3 and Dhoni is not in great form, but he can come to form at any moment. So I think if Indians can keep their wickets in hand, they will be a side to beat tomorrow.
A good point about Behardin. I can't see that guy holding his place in a team like South Africa. He is the weak link. And, I was just thinking, you could carry Jacques Kallis as a 41-year-old who can bowl like that and probably use him as a backbone sheet anchor anywhere in the batting order. Right. Is much better value than Behardin. So here you go, so in Jacques Kallis is playing T20 cricket. Anyway, having said that, you're right with the batting. Once a bowler is in the zone, there's no harm in giving him the respect and just surviving. To fight another day. It's not T20 where 3-4 balls and an over here and there will be so detrimental to a big match. Because in 50-over game, it's a long game. Even if you give 4-5 overs to a bowler and survive, you can always catch up in 2-3 overs because you've got a T20 mentality now. Players are not scared of chasing 10-12 runs an over now. It's par for the course. Earlier, when I used to play one-day cricket, 240 was a winning score. 220 was an iffy score. 200 was par score. Right. So now 300 is not a safe score. 300 is below par. And on a good batting pitch, even 350 is below par. Subcontinent, you're struggling to defend 350. Here, I think I thought the conditions will be much more helpful. But Australia is not the Australia we are used to. Australia was much more difficult to score. Bounce and the seam movement was too much. Here, they have made wickets which are placid, which is good. So 300 for me is minimum you need to get.
All right, 300 minimum. And Imam, well, we have the same problem again as Pakistan had, and still we've never really won a match against South Africa World Cup. So, how do you think that's going to fare this time? Hopefully, we can change that.
Well, there's always for the first time, Melvin, and I guess I think we have to be realistic. Let's be honest. What Atul said, I think the cracking point. We're not playing them in a knockout game, and it's not too much pressure either for India or South Africa. I think the team which wins tomorrow, Melvin, and it can be India as well for the first time. Not because I'm an Indian. I'm saying this because the momentum against Pakistan, I think for India, the World Cup starts now. All the hype surrounding the India-Pakistan game 1 year in advance was so much that the first game had to be out of the window. Now Indians do not have any monkey on the back or a lot of pressure. If we beat Africa tomorrow, then we can be very well on our way to lifting another cup.
I spoke to Virat a couple of weeks ago, and we were just discussing that this is the best thing to do: get India-Pakistan match out of the way first. The huge monkeys of the backs. Now you can actually start in earnest your shoot of the World Cup, and I think now most of the players are feeling much more relaxed. And you see that the pressure of losing for 3 months, just winning an one odd match against Afghanistan over a period of 3 months. They did not win a single game,
Right.
and what the kind of amount of relief they must have felt beating Pakistan.
Absolutely.
Now they say, okay, we are looking good. Our department is also looking good for a change. Overnight, the things look rosier.
All right. Well, over to Pune now. I think Pune, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So basically, my question to you will be, I will just put in mind. 94.3 रेडियो 1 मैक्सिमम म्यूजिक मैक्सिमम चॉइस पर विद्युत मुटर्स हैप्पी आवर्स में एमजे अंशु के साथ आप हैं और आज ऑल रिक्वेस्ट है आप अपनी रिक्वेस्ट तो मुझे भेज सकते हैं वो आप बाद में कर सकते हैं लेकिन अभी मैं आपको बताऊं हम लोग हैं गूगल हैंगआउट पे और मेरे साथ में है द वेटरन क्रिकेटर जिनका नाम है अतुल वासन जिनको हर कोई जानता है अगर आप हमें लाइव देखना चाहते हैं इन एक्शन जस्ट लॉग ऑन टू क्रिकेट ऑल अराउंड फेसबुक पेज और रेडियो 1 फेसबुक पेज क्लिक द लिंक एंड सी अस लाइव लेकिन पहला क्वेश्चन आपके लिए अतुल फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेलकम टू द शो Okay, Atul, I just wanted to know that since things are looking better for India right now, do you think it would be wise to be setting up a target or chasing a target?
Yeah, this is a question everybody is asking, and everybody knows. I think 90% of people know bowling is our weak link, no matter how batsmen have struggled in Australia, that was test matches, that was the triangular series, it's over now. A World Cup is a different kettle of fish. And I would still say that our batting lineup is our forte. If Mahendra Singh Dhoni just gets a semblance of his form, then we are dangerous, Without him getting to form, we look a bit susceptible. But having said that, our bowling is a problem because, Ishant Sharma has got injured, who we invested in over the last 4 years. Ashwin, who was looking a shadow of himself. Last match, I think he was a star for me. His 2 maiden overs changed the game for us, and he was looking much better because he was attacking. Usually we see when he's not sure, and that's the job of the captain to actually make the same bowler attacking bowler, and the attitude of the captain. So I think he looked attacking, and that's the best way to go. So our bowling is slightly iffy because 2 bowlers can lose you the match. So I think if we can bowl first, know what we are chasing, and then chase it down with a plan. That for me is the safer bet.
Okay, so thank you so much Atul. This was Atul Wassan with us and अगर आप हमें Google Hangout पे live देख पाते हैं, just log on to Cricket All Around Facebook page or the Radio 1 Pune Facebook page or just click the link there and see us live. With me also is MJ Tarun who will be talking to Atul next. Stay tuned to 94.3 Radio 1. Over to you, Melvin.
All right, thank you. And so chasing is what you're going with. India chasing down a total. Priyansh, what do you think about that? Chasing, is that what is going to work?
I think that chasing is a weaker. India is really weak in chasing. As
we may have been a long time ago, but I think we've done really well in the recent years, especially with. I have to bring in Virat Kohli again.
But those were the subcontinent conditions, and now we are coming to Australia, and here we see teams scoring runs, but we haven't seen a team scoring like much runs and like chasing and winning the match. But I think that India should bat first and they should capitalize and score a big total like 300 plus and bowl well, basically like they did in the last match. They had a really good plan for the last match, so I think they should follow the same plan and they should work out well. The plan should work out well, and I think India should win.
About the Australian pitches, of course. Virat Kohli did chase down 320 in 38 overs in Australia, didn't he? Just a couple of years ago.
Just putting too much pressure on one guy, and it was but I would still feel, if you're batting first, it's easier said than done. You have more than 300.
Right.
Sometimes when your bowling is weak, you try to overachieve when you bat first, and that is a dangerous ploy because you might just fall to less than 250 because you're aiming too high, you lose wickets, So the pressure of creating a big total also can tell on you. So I think that is a problem. So if you're batting first, you have to compartmentalize the game. Okay, first 15 overs, we don't want to be too many down. No problem. Right. Then we see how we are placed after 25 overs, how we are placed 35 overs when the power play kicks in. So then we can actually also move the target. Don't go with the plan that I'm going to get 350 today. When you start aiming for 350, you will get out of 2.
Absolutely. And well, I mean, good point though by Priyansh also because most of the teams that have won so far in the tournament have been well did bat first and win the match. Well, we just have to wait and see how it's all
Okay,
going to
sorry to
go.
cut in.
Yeah, Ayush, you're going on air.
Yeah, exactly. In a moment, please.
Okay.
A beautiful song from the movie Kudrat. Well, you're listening to FM 95 Radio, and my name is Aish, and today we are hanging out on Google Plus with Atul Wassan. Yes, hi Atul Wassan. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Hello, Atul. Welcome to the show. I think we're not able to get Atul at this moment of time, but we're hanging out with Atul Wassan today on the Google Plus Hangout. All you need to do is you need to go to the Facebook page, which is called Cricket All Around, or you can go to the Radio 1 FM 95 Facebook page to check this action live. Name is Ayush, and we're returning with Atul Wassan in some time. Stay tuned.
What happened? I think we're having some audio
Check.
issues, but
Check. Hello. Hello, Delhi. Hello.
yeah. Ayush, can you hear us? We
Check.
can hear you loud.
I can hear Melbourne. I'm having problems with Atul right now. Hello.
We can hear Melvin.
I can hear Melbourne right now.
You still can't hear my voice. You can't hear Atul.
Check. No.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very slow.
Check.
It's very weak.
Okay, how about this now? Hello. Is
Yeah.
it better?
It is better.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear my voice. Okay, I'll get closer to the mic. There you go.
Okay, we'll do this in 15 minutes again. Yeah.
Sure.
15 minutes. All right. So, well, we were discussing strategy, pacing, or setting up a total, and I guess it's. I mean, there is no one way to do it. Everybody has their own different ideas. But okay, in terms of India, you don't want to make one man responsible. You don't want to put too much pressure on Virat Kohli. But who do you think is? Do you think the batting more or less? I think can handle it. In terms of our bowling, I think Bhuvi is going to be coming back into this match.
I'm sure because Mohit did a good job, but we got to try out all our first options,
Right.
And if he's fully fit, because his ankle has been he has been retained, so there's a bit of pressure on the team management to actually play him. They can't justify just keeping him back and sending Dhawan Kulkarni back. So they got to play him out, and I hope he can run in fast because in Test matches he looked shadow of himself. But having said that, I think the biggest problem for India is जैसे घर का भेदी लंका ढाई. Gary Custon is the consultant for South Africa now, and Gary Custon is the one person who knows everything about this team because he created this team. So I think he's got the little chinks in everybody's armor in a list, and South Africa is very meticulous when they come to actually exploiting anybody's weakness.
I think that's a major plus point that South Africa has, that they have Gary Kirsten as their coach, who was our coach and one of our most successful.
I think they should have an NDA agreement with all the coaches, so that they should not be letting out some personal information.
And Gary Kirsten has been giving the Proteas a lot of information. So hopefully that's not going to work against us. But yes, in terms of India's bowling, I mean, how do you think they're going to shape up? A pretty good day against Pakistan. They look pretty good. The spinners did well, like you pointed out. Ashwin was good. The pacers were pretty good as well. Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami bowling pretty well. Do they have to do anything differently or stick to?
No, I think it's a team sport. You are supposed to be bowling well. I don't understand the kind of over-the-top, celebration when somebody picks up a wicket now. And I was talking to somebody, and one of the footballers made a very good comment that why don't you jump around when you score a goal? He says, why should I? It's my job to score goals. Does a postman jumps when he delivers a letter to you? His job is to deliver a letter to you.
Right.
So why should I celebrate? So I think the bowler should show this kind of a confidence where when they're picking up wickets, that's the job to do that. It should not be iffy that, oh my God, I picked up a wicket, And that kind of confidence can only come when you hunt in a pack. If you only expect one guy and you're mentioning Virat Kohli again and again, I mean, that is demeaning to me if I was the part of the batting order as well. That why is that person being talked about? Am I not here to perform and do? It's a team sport eventually, and I think these bowlers, all the players have worked hard towards peaking towards the World Cup, and they have been through the grind. They've been there. They've they've played against the best of the best, and given the conditions, why wouldn't they do that? I can understand one bowler getting an off day, and there has to be a plan B, somebody making up for that. But a collective failure, I will not be able to accept it.
All right. So collective failure by the bowlers. I don't think any of us should be expecting that, and hopefully India won't have that sort of a failure in the bowling department. And well, let's bring back Imam now. And Imam, in terms of what do you think among the Indian bowlers that are going to be Bhuvneshwar, Mohammad Shami, and of course I left out Umesh Yadav. Who do you think is going to be the pick of the bowlers?
Well, Melvin, I think to talk about the celebration part, I think it's more about to do towards a lot of cameras which is being nowadays installed in every ground. Every cricketer wants to show how aggressive he is, but I think the aggression isn't being quiet and doing his job. And coming back to your question, I think Umesh Yadav for me will be a key tomorrow, Melvin, because he bowls that length, which will be a bit difficult for the African batsman to hit. And I think Umesh Yadav being quick in through the air, hitting the seam consistently, hopefully at the right line, will be difficult to play. And Atul sir, one quick thing I want to ask you, about the whole match scenario tomorrow. Every South African, if you read in the internet today, is talking about tomorrow's game. Apart from Team India, I think Indian team has not said a word till now. All the talking has been done by South Africa. Do you think it's a kind of pressure which they want to divert from them and say that India is also playing the game, or is it that some mind game which I don't think will work when MS Dhoni is the captain of the Indian team? We can't hear Atul sir and Melbourne right now. I think.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's
So the Delhi's audio, the video.
We are back on.
I'm just hanging there. Delhi's video is coming.
Right.
We can't hear you, Atul.
Right, guys, there seems to be some issues, so please stay with us. We'll be back. There's a lot of great discussion going on about the game of cricket, and with Atul Wassan being at the helm of things, the cricketer who has done so much. So I think we are having fun with this conversation. So we'll go ahead within a moment. This technology, things do happen. So
yes, Imam, I just want to cut you in. I just want to cut in right now. I have Imam out there. Ansh, can you hear me? Taruna, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I think there's a problem. Super, fantastic. We'll keep this conversation going online. So if you have a question, shoot right now.
Absolutely.
Imam, I just want to ask you, Imam, about the opening order that we had like last time. Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. Rohit Sharma got out very, very early. So do you think MS is going to be shifting the opening order, or is he going to stick to the same gun?
Well, I think it will be difficult for MS to do it now, because after Shikhar Dhawan scoring those runs against Pakistan, and it's a huge game, and no matter what you do, no matter how bad your form is, when you play against Pakistan and score runs, you become a hero overnight. So I think Shikhar Dhawan has kept his place for another couple of games, and I'm glad that he repaid Dhoni's confidence, because he's been giving chances so many times. So I'm glad that Shikhar is scoring runs, and it's also important to Josh, because if Dhawan gives us that start, Rohit Sharma can relax a bit because he's in great form, doesn't have to go after the bowling, and then we have players to follow who are stroke makers. So Rahane, Virat Kohli becomes even more dangerous when you have a certain Shikhar Dhawan scoring a lot of runs.
That's for sure.
But now,
would you?
Can we check?
Yes, I'm just going to quickly. I can get the video from Atul and Melbourne, but I can't have their audio right now. Once again, paging for Melbourne and Atul. Can you hear us? Okay, there seems to be. We'll be back in the conversation going.
Josh, I've got a surprise for Atul Wassan when he checks out the camera right now. In some time, it's a huge surprise. All your eyes.
We're still live. We're still live on the Google Plus Hangout. So, Imam, who's going to be your big man for tomorrow's big game? Is it AB or is it Virat?
Well, heart says Virat any day, any time, but I equally love AB as well. Guy is fantastic at heart, great player. I think something we can all learn from, and if he can be a mentor for us over the years once he retires, I think we'll learn a lot from him. So ABD Villiers, don't want him to play a lot well tomorrow, but Virat Kohli, apart from Kohli, Josh, I think Rahane will be the key tomorrow. Rahane, no one is talking about Rahane. He's under the, he's going under the scanner. Nobody is concentrating on him. And Rahane, once he starts scoring runs, he is a very difficult player to contain because he can hit the gaps. He's not a player who can just smack sixes over the cow corner. He is very smart. He scores. He's running between the wickets is the key, and he's the one who can get you 100 out of 110 balls. And if Virat Kohli can, from the other end, provide the fireworks along with MS, and something tells me MS tomorrow is going to be a key player. I don't know why, but I think MS Dhoni is going to come to light tomorrow.
That only happens when India is chasing down.
I want to add a point here.
Okay, so I just want to quickly check one second. Sure. I just want to quickly check with the Delhi studios if they are right now back once again. Atul checking, Melbourne checking. Okay, yes, Prayansh, go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, I think Suresh Raina will be a big key for tomorrow's game because like he did pretty well, and he like whenever when Raina got out, after Kohli got out, like we started the batting power play, the period of the batting power play when Raina was like he just came onto the crease. A batting power play in the last game didn't go pretty well. And even the last 5 overs from 45 to 50 overs, we scored at a pretty slow run rate. But before that, the period when Raina was playing, we scored at around I think 10 from 35.
We got about 27 runs in 5 overs. So
correct.
It was pretty bad.
Correct. So like we performed really well in the 35 to 45 over gap, and I think that would be another crucial gap. And if we could hit more runs in the last 5 overs, that would be a great thing because if Raina continues to hit and if he finishes it off well, if he gives if Dhoni also supports him on the other end, and the last 5 overs that are remaining, if Raina stays on the crease for those last 5 overs and he capitalizes, so I think that a big
Priyash, I got to come in there. Just 1 second. Let's quickly go back to Delhi and check whether Delhi can hear us. Atul and Melvin
is out again.
Nice.
Ansh, Tarun, can you hear us?
Yes.
Totally.
All right, so we'll keep the conversation going till Atul comes back on.
Let me ask you, Prajosh. Let me be the person who's
बेटी के प्रति जब आप सोच बदलेंगे तभी हालात बदलेंगे।
ये क्या हुआ?
बेटी बचाओ, बेटी पढ़ाओ। महिला एवं बाल विकास मंत्रालय द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
I completely agree with that. Prajosh, over to you. My question is to you. Do you think India should bat first or bowl first? Will it make a lot of difference with the kind of form we are in after beating Pakistan, or do you think that any which ways we are going to beat Africa?
I think after the big game that India played against Pakistan, every other game is only going to be a practice match for us now.
No,
I think India should just try out a different stunt. Let's just go ahead and chase down a target, just to see that we're comfortable with our 11. That's all.
I'll beg to differ. We should not do that. I beg to differ. We should not do that. Not good chasing. We should not do that.
And people who are watching, you can see the RJs fighting among themselves. So you can see what the World Cup does. The World Cup does give this to you. The unity which you have, it can go beyond it. My question to you, I'll quickly go to Pune and I'll ask them, both of them sitting there with their smiling faces. Now, you disagreed with Prajosh when he said that we should chase, or do you think that we should chase? And recent past we've been doing fantastically well chasing as well.
No, I personally think that playing first will be a good idea. Batting first will be a good idea because we have a strong batting lineup, and if we can just get a good score set up, it'll be a good moral boost for our bowlers, the whole team, and if we suppose give them a chance, South Africa is a very very strong team. It is actually one of my favorite teams. If you ask me, the
On
teams
that
that I
note,
really.
I'll stop you. You should not be saying that on this show. You should not be having South Africa as your favorite. Atul and Melvin are back. Let's quickly go back to them and check whether we can hear them. Melvin,
Imam,
hi.
what's your last
You
name?
got an
Goswami?
overexcited.
Imam, what's your last name? Goswami?
India wants to know later. Yeah. Atul, can you hear us?
Imam's completely taken over.
Goswami's voice also, huh?
Atul and Melvin, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We are back with the panel. Over to you.
I
Melvin.
think we would like to go with the link if.
Sure,
Okay,
sure, sure.
go for it. Yes.
Okay.
Start. Karo.
So, Tarun.
94.3 Radio 1, I'm Tarun, and you are listening to us on air, of course. We are talking to Atul Wassan, and we are also on Google Hangout. You can see what's happening here in the Radio 1 studios, and all that you have to do is to go to our Facebook page, which is Cricket All Around page, or the Radio 1 Facebook Pune page. Atul is with me right now. Atul, the next question that we want to ask you is, if you have to pick 4 favorites in this tournament, who are, which are the teams that you really love, and is India one of them?
Not at this point. But the chances of India creeping into my best 4 is going up by notches, And tomorrow evening, I will tell you, I think that I'll fair or not. But Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand are the 3 clear favorites for me. And the spot is up for grabs. And I think if India wins tomorrow, there's a good chance that in the quarterfinals we will face Sri Lanka or England.
Yes.
So God forbid if England is knocked out, we might be facing another minnow, and that would be a lottery. But like we had a lottery in South Africa when we faced Kenya in the semi-finals. So you never know what happens. And I think with Ireland also winning, it's opened up. It's become a group of death. But India would rather watch out because we know what happened in 2007 World Cup, and that format was so dangerous that nobody expected that we'll lose to Bangladesh, and nobody expected Pakistan will lose to Ireland, and the people who bought tickets for that Barbados lip smacking contest India Pakistan had to see Ireland versus Bangladesh match. So how sad was that? So this time the format, now the World Cup organizers are not taking any chances that the World Cup gets over for 1 billion people after India gets knocked out or Pakistan gets knocked out.
They can't afford that.
Right.
So I think more or less they'll make sure that the big 8, a rare occurrence might happen when India will creep into that best 4 tomorrow evening.
Right. Very, very, very well scheduled tournament and very interesting match coming up tomorrow. We will be in conversation with Atul Wassan. This is 94.3 Radio 1. And if in case you want to watch what's happening here in the studios of Radio 1, you can just simply go to our Cricket All Around Facebook page, follow the link that we've given there, or the Radio 1 Facebook page, Pune. Stay tuned in. This is
Happy hours.
Happy Hours, and I'm in conversation with Atul Wassan.
Slap you.
I'm so used to saying the morning show. No,
I know.
Happy hours is what we look forward to. Anyway,
actually,
all the time. All right. Well, Atul, you actually brought
I
up.
just want
Yeah.
to. Atul's audio level is very, very low. So if you can just
no, I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'll get closer.
up it from your side.
Okay, no. So is it okay now? Okay, I'll have to just speak a bit louder.
Go ahead, Melvin. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So Atul had brought up wives and girlfriends on radio. So I just want to bring that out. I mean, the BCCI making this a rule for Team India seems a little controlling, a little principle-like. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, these are not school kids.
Yeah.
I think they should let everybody decides. Look at the World Cup. The teams that did not allow their wives and girlfriends lost early, and Germany won it. So there's a lesson in there. So don't. I mean, young boys is even harder. If they are bored, I mean, they'll spend more time and effort looking for a company. So rather let them take their own company. So save some trouble for them. And the wives. Some players feel assured that okay, I come and they want to be with their. They want to go out for dinner and just switch off from cricket.
Yeah.
But some cricketers actually might find it bothersome because sometimes we all know how wives can be. So so
Yeah,
it can be a bother at times, and you
it can
just
be.
want,
Yeah.
want to
No,
switch
in
off.
fact, it's
So
funny
let everybody decide for themselves.
for
Who are we
themselves.
to be moral police here?
Absolutely. And it was just yesterday when I had this topic on my show about the wives and girlfriends and what their opinion was, whether it should have been a yes or a no. And there was one very interesting caller who pointed out that maybe they shouldn't be there because wives, if you have to take them shopping, it could just exhaust you. You just won't have energy for the match after that. Imam, I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, shopping with a woman is exhausting. Like,
Well, I would refrain from commenting on that, Melvin, because I'm married as well. Well, I'll quickly like to say that,
No, we know who wears the pants in your family now.
well, I think, because there was a gap of 9 days in between matches, I think you need to, along being with a moral police, you should also be smart. You should say that there are 9 days in between matches. You can't practice all those 9 days. Instead of that, you give them some family. I know that Indian wives can bother you sometimes, but at the same time, that a very interesting incident was Virender Sehwag and his wife and his child. The time he scored his triple hundred, his son had spent a very good time with him, and he slept early that night. And Sehwag the next day scored a triple hundred. So just one of
right.
those incidents, but it gives you that family. Family love can really get the best out of you. But coming back to tomorrow's game, I think even family love or no family love, I think there's no love
But you
lost
got to
between
remember one thing. These players have been without their family for 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you have a heart.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you got a bossy wife, then you choose to keep her at home. Don't bring her along.
It's
And
the
tomorrow's
choice.
game, Melvin, will be
Yeah.
will be
Yeah, go
about a
ahead.
lot of respect. Will be about a lot of respect. There is a Virat Kohli and a Dale Steyn in the team. Dale Steyn who comes up to Virat and gives him a big hug after he scores a boundary in a T20 World Cup semi-final. Who does that? I think a lot of respect between these players because they play so much of IPL. So more than that competition, I'm also looking at those small little battles within the battle. Like a Steyn versus Virat is one. For me, a Rahane versus Morkel will be a one because Rahane is short in stature. Morkel is tall bowler. He's a short of length ball, and Rahane pulls well. So I think these are small little competitions which I'm looking at. And tomorrow's game, the more we talk about it and listening to Atul as well, it promises to be a more than a humdinger. So really, really looking forward to it.
You mentioned that hug that Dale Steyn gave, and then these foreign players are clever. They know come IPL auctions, players like Virat Kohli who actually hold the purse strings will have to be
Yes.
picking them. So nobody takes panga with Virat Kohli. So you got to be nice to him because if you want to make your millions.
Virat Kohli has reached a position that a lot of cricketers actually dream for. And well, but very good points, Imam, that you were bringing out about those competitions. Within the main competition, India versus South Africa, of course. And now I think, Ahmedabad, you want to go on air?
Yes, of course.
All right, go.
Just before I go on air, I just want to do a check with Atul. Atul, hi.
Hi.
Perfect, perfect. So we'll be taking this on the radio now. Wow. Well, you're tuned into FM 95 Radio 1. I'm Ayush and I've got Atul Wassan with me on the Google Plus Hangout. Hi Atul, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Wow, finally I get to listen to your voice. Now, taking this question has come from one of our followers from Facebook. He's worried about the form of AB de Villiers. Do you think that AB de Villiers would be someone that India should look forward to and probably create a strategy against him?
Well, if I was one of the bowlers in the team, I would be losing sleep. Because the way he scored that 100 recently against West
Yeah.
Indies, oh my God, that must have sent shivers down any bowler's spine. Because he was murderous. What do you do with a guy with so much talent? The strokes he played were audacious. It was rubbing it in. It was not even nice. So I think the balance in world cricket between bat and ball is tilting, and players like AB de Villiers are making it harder. So I think
Hmm.
ICC, thankfully they've woken up about the size of the bats. I mean, they are always behind one step in
Hmm.
anything. The games move on, then they decide. They let people chuck for 20 years. Suddenly they woke up. Just before the World Cup. So I
Yeah.
mean, spare a thought because in anything in life, in love, in marriage, in war, the balance of power has to be maintained. And the balance, if is out, then it's no fun for anybody. Bowlers, there will be no bowlers left in our 5-7 years because nobody will want to become a bowler. Who wants to get hit day in and day out? So I think with this two new balls being used, the new restrictions, the power plays, the game is getting harder, and players like AB de Villiers are pushing the envelope as far as batting is concerned.
That is true. Talking to you, you were yourself an all-round. You scored 130 in 106 balls against that Pakistan game which happened, which was Kapil Dev's team. Can you tell us something about that match?
Oh, you know what? I was not meant to open. The wicket was wet, and I thought let us send a pinch hitter who can dry out the wicket, last a few overs, and I lasted 32 overs. I think I got 160 in that game.
Wow! And you were declared the man of the match.
Yes, I was there.
That is really nice. I'd be showing Atul Wassan a photograph on the Google Plus Hangout. If you want to check this photograph out, all you have to do is you have to go to the Cricket All Round Facebook page, or you can go to the Radio 1 FM 95 Facebook page. Thank you so much, Atul Wassan. We'll be coming back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Ahmedabad. And Atul, you brought up field restrictions. Is that, with all these new rules, are leg spinners finding it difficult with these new fielding restrictions and all of that?
Any spinner, with the big bats and the one fielder backing, so you need to five all the time. It makes it harder because you got more gaps now. And having said that, the game should be moving where we should be seeing average scores of 350 now. It's moved forward the way we bat, the restrictions, the two new balls. Two new balls is harsher for spinners. That's a bigger reason than the fielding restrictions because the ball doesn't get old now. Right. So you've got a ball which at the end of 50 overs is 25 overs old. Right. Earlier you used to get an old ball by the 25th, 30th over with some scuffing on it, right, which used to grip the surface. Now it's a new ball. So the spinners, either they have to upgrade to more variety or they'll be sitting duck. So I think now the spinners are trying various deliveries, and now they've cracked down on bending the arm too much. Now the Dusra will go away from the game. So they'll have to find something. Now Ashwin, we saw the way he was bowling, the away going delivery was with the seam, like outswinger. So these are the good variations coming in, and the game is forcing the bowlers to evolve.
All right, and Atul, you yourself, you've been an all-rounder, and do you see a big role for someone like Roger Binney in this tournament?
Stuart Binney.
Yeah, sorry.
Roger Binney already played his part and got Stuart Binney in the team.
Stuart Binney. My bad. Stuart Binney. Yeah.
Well played, Roger. Well, anyway, but I think Stuart has done well. I think he deserves a place because you're going to Australia. If it was played in subcontinent, I would have said take another spinning all-rounder because you don't need the bowling all-rounder. And Stuart was bowled well by Dhoni, and he was given a new ball. Right. So given half a chance where we might need Stuart Binney in the tournament, he's already played a game, and he's he played few games, and he's already is in rhythm. Because seeming all rounder and the way he's batted also has given me a lot of confidence. He plays the Test match also, and England also he did well. So he's actually hung in there.
Right.
Probably if you see, he's not very talented as other players, but with his limited ability also, he's made himself useful, which is good for Indian cricket.
And he also has the extra advantage of having his wife around.
And having his father as a selector?
Oh, well, I was not going to say that, but wife around unlike any other player.
That's bypassing the rules, eh? Yeah.
All right, well, Stuart Binney. Imam, what do you think? Stuart Binney getting a chance maybe soon enough and hopefully making it count?
Well, yes, Melvin, I think completely agreed. Whatever points Atul has been making is absolutely, absolutely right. And Stuart Binney is a very limited player. Again, I would love to see him bowl, concentrate more on his bowling rather than batting. We have plenty of batting already. The first 6 batsmen we do have, and he comes in when there is a slog is on or we are out of the game. It's 70 for 5. He will not be able to do anything any which way. So I think he can be very useful in conditions like New Zealand. I think he should be told that you can play any game, but at the same time, because we have limited spots in the team, it will not be a bad idea from Dhoni to have a consistent chat to Stuart Binney. It so happens that Dhoni has him in his team, but he doesn't use him. So I think it's better off not playing him and use him when he will definitely be required. And I think it'll be a good competition when Irfan gets fit as well, because throughout this all many years, Irfan was the only all-rounder, and Greg Chappell made him a number 3 batsman, and that's it. After that, nothing happened. So I think, unlike that, I hope that is Stuart Binney just concentrates more on his bowling and is very clearly told what he needs to do in the team, rather than being told go out there and bat at 3 and give us a good start. Just concentrate on your bowling, give us 5 to 8 overs, and just if you can give us 20 runs or 30 runs with the bat, that should be enough.
I've had this brilliant idea. People find it crazy, and and Mohinder Amarnath actually seconded me. I thought, before the World Cup, India missed the trick in the book that we should have actually tried Ashwin as an opener. That would have opened a lot of opportunity. Indian batting order will have depth because then Dhoni will come one slot lower.
Right.
So we'll have depth in the batting. And I mean, this guy has scored 200s in Test matches.
And
he's
got the
always
technique.
batting.
He's
got
got
a
the
good
technique,
technique.
yeah.
And you got a stroke player, Shikhar Dhawan, up front. Put Ashwin there, and that also gives the comfort level to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli to actually come in when the ball is slightly semi-new. And I think, and then you are assured of Ashwin's place in the team. Before this last game against Pakistan, we were not even sure Ashwin was in the picture.
Right.
There were like doubts that would we play 2 left-armers and 3 seamers. So Ashwin's 10 overs are a guaranteed, and he becomes the opener. And if he gets 2 runs as a pinch hitter or whatever you call him, he's a proper batsman. We can't call him a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
And this would have actually turned the things around. And I remember same thing happened in 79, 80 when Ravi Shastri, who joined the team as a spinner, who was batting at number 10, was made an opener. And look at Ravi's record. Ravi was brilliant in batting and bowling, and India won many tournaments. In the World Championships we won was Ravi Shastri opening the batting and bowling his 10 overs. Yuvraj Singh last World Cup, batting and getting his 10 overs.
Right.
So that's how you make the bowling all-rounder stars.
Right.
And just to support that point, which made by Atul, I think it's not a bad idea, Atul. It's a very masterly move. Ashwin started off as a batsman. He was a pure batsman.
Yes.
You look at his technique when he presents the full face of the bat. In Australia, you need a player who's a tall player who can pull, who can cut. Ashwin can do that. In IPL game, I remember Dhoni pushed him to number 3, and he did very well. He did his job very well. I think it's not a bad idea at all. If Ashwin has that confidence on himself, that is.
Is it too late? That's my point. India had a chance to actually do this and experiment with this in the series. Do that, and I probably feel that it's too late to actually change horse right midstream.
Midstream, yes, midway. And well, we have to bring in Sunny, of course. Once again, Sunny. We were talking about Stuart Binney. There's also Akshar Patel in there. Would he get a chance? Will people like Stuart Binney and Akshar Patel actually being in the team, justify leaving out someone like Yuvraj Singh tournament last time around? So, do you think these guys will make it count, Sunny?
Melvin, I think Sunny is not there. Priyansh, we can go to
Priyansh. Okay. Priyansh. Okay, how about Priyansh? Yeah, why don't you take that question?
Yeah, I think Akshar Patel is a talented young lad, and he did really well in the IPL, and he did really well in the home series that we played. So I think he should have been given more chances in the previous series, and they should have experimented him more and they should have given him more experience. And he's a talented young lad, and he can do really well. He can score those runs, he can get those wickets, and I think I see him leading the spin attack in the future, because I think he really gets ball return, and he's a good bowler, he's a great batsman, and he's a complete package. So watch out for him.
All right, Akshar Patel, very talented young lad.
Yeah, talent is there, but I think it's got to do with horses for courses. You put a very talented player in conditions which are alien to him, and then you might see him collapse. You might just lose. India in cricket has lost a lot of players like this, where the patience of selectors and the fans has been very limited. You put a player, give the player a chance, and then not give him the conducive environment to actually prosper and become a good player, and you just give up on him. And Akshar also have struggled so far in Australia, so I can't see him being a big game changer in the World Cup as yet. And everybody doesn't have to play. You've got lovely gaps in the matches. Earlier you have to play a one day every 2 days. Now you got at least a week between the games.
So,
and then so this is very convenient for players with niggles. They can get you got to bowl 10 overs. You got to bat 50 overs. Time to recover and recuperate. So even the players who are not in the frame of things and nobody gets injured, India goes with a set 11 and sticks to that 11. I don't mind for the whole World Cup.
All right, but do you think Dhoni is showing a little too much faith in Ravindra Jadeja, or do you think it's justified?
Well, even Narendra Modi is showing a lot of faith in Ravindra Jadeja. So what's Dhoni doing different?
So all right. So it's
okay. I've got Melvin. Yeah, sorry to cut you short. I've got a photograph of yours, and we want to know what were you doing. I'm growing mustaches, right? And this photograph of yours, if it is clearly seen. Can you see the photograph? Can you
Yeah,
tell us something about?
I know where this photo was taken. Exactly, I remember the time.
Wow.
Can you tell
I
us
was
about?
19. I was 19, and it was the middle of the Pennines in Yorkshire in a club called Marsden, where I went as a pro, and it was my first summer as a professional in England.
Uh-huh. And some incidences around it.
Yeah, because that village had about 7,000 people and 27,000 sheep.
I would have fainted big time. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I never used to eat steaks then, but I eventually
All
got onto
right.
them. Yeah.
All right, I guess.
That
Okay,
is
back
nice.
in the day, every photograph was a wonderful memory. So, okay, well, we're going to be going on air in 20 seconds, and this would be our last link on air. So, we'll just be cutting back.
You're tuned in to Delhi NCR's only international station. And this is Drive Delhi with your host, Melvin.
Radio 1.
Well, that was the Lumineers with Ho Hey, and of course, Cricket Talk right here on Drive Delhi on 94.3 Radio 1. And we still have Atul Wassan in the studio. And, well, Atul, for India's sake, I mean, a couple of players who they thought that were not really in good touch, players like Suresh Raina and Shikhar Dhawan, finally came to the party against Pakistan. So that's a great sign for India. Now we're hoping that Dhoni also gets his touch soon enough.
Well, yeah, that too, and for India's sake, things to fall in place tomorrow against South Africa. I mean, ABD Villiers slips in the bathroom. Real Stain goes down with food poisoning. That'll be best.
That would be absolutely fantastic, and I think then we are definitely through. AB de Villiers, I mean, I just have to keep talking about this man. He is so talented. He's the only player who I've seen in world cricket who can get himself into any position on the crease and make any ball, any delivery seem playable.
You know, it's very frustrating. You know, when some people get so much talent
Yeah,
in their
it's
genes.
unfair.
You know, yeah, it's unfair on people like me. You know, who are not very talented. You know, so we have to really work hard. And a lot of people, you know, but somebody who just turns up there and does whatever. You know, AB de Villiers, I interviewed him. He had come to India as under 15 team from South Africa. He was 14 years old. He got 300s, and I interviewed him for a TV channel for Doordarshan. In fact, and he had a lisp. You know, he had a thing, and I still remember. And he was talking, and he was a junior hockey player for South Africa then.
Yes,
he was the quarterback. He was a fly half for the rugby team. He were playing 5 sport at the highest level, and he had a choice to become international in 3 of them. He chose cricket. You know, and he said that he wanted to become the best batsman in the world when he was 14. I still remember it, and he has become that.
He has become,
and he's a wonderful guy. You know, he's such a wholesome guy. He's got a family of the field. He's a singer. He's cut an album. I mean, what more do you want? You know?
Wow, just talent. So talented is just extremely annoying. but just like Atul pointed out, anyway. So AB de Villiers, Dale Steyn, like you said, hopefully something happens to them before tomorrow. But India going in with a chance. This is a good team, but South Africa also have lost against Australia in Australia 4-1 with this same team. We do have a chance.
Of course we do. I mean, come the match, Stevens, you know, if you have an iota of doubt in your mind as a player, and Indian cricket suffered because of that for so long that the players were not sure of winning. We used to turn up, and I could see it in the eyes that, okay, they are just hoping to get away with a 50 here and a good spell there to play the next game and get selected again. So I think something happened after Saurav Ganguly, I must credit him for, and then Mahendra Singh Dhoni took that. The players actually started believing that they're there to win. I mean, you might have big players, but I am also here. You know, I can get you out. It only needs one delivery to get de Villiers out. You know, I mean, if you stick around Dale Steyn, you can actually hit. We saw Masakatsa and Maire hit those 6. You know, so you got to drive on that. And previous and IPL actually has made all Indian players' hearts bigger because there's no fear now because they've faced them, they can hit them, they've got wickets. So international players don't feel. I remember going there. I was up against my idol Richard Hadley in my first test match. I kept on looking at him. I could not believe I was playing with him. So that awe is gone, which is very good for Indian cricket.
All right. Well, we're hoping for a good day tomorrow, and well, it's no more of cricket talk on air, but of course you can continue watching us online. All you need to do is go to the All Cricket All Round Facebook page, or you can just go to the Radio 1 Delhi Facebook page right now and catch the rest of the action. More music coming up.
I like it because it's got a variety. Very good variety of different types of.
All right. So, anyone wants to go on air at any point right now? We have about Pijosh. Oh, Pijosh, we can't hear you. I think you need to
You can
unmute
go.
yourself. Who? Pune. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't forget the happy hour.
The happy hour.
I'm not letting him speak this time. 94.3 Radio 1 Maximum Music, Maximum Choice पर happy hours में अंशु के साथ में यहाँ and with me here on Google Hangout is Atul Wassan. He's a veteran cricketer and he had his first class career. He spanned 80 matches in which he picked up 290 wickets. And he's here with us on Google Hangout to talk about tomorrow's match, which is South Africa versus India. Now, Atul, hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah.
So there is this one question I wanted to ask: which are the two teams that you want pitted against each other in the finals? That mouth-watering match which you would like to see.
That would be Afghanistan versus Scotland, actually. That would actually come in nicely. But, pigs will fly sooner. I think Australia, South Africa would be a lip smacking. But, as an Indian and as jingoistic I think India, Australia would be icing on the cake.
All right. So, Melvin, tell me what would be your pick for that? I actually had said Australia versus South Africa too.
I would, just like Atul pointed out, I really want India to beat Australia in a World Cup final. Like, I want to see that happening once in my life. So I would love India to beat Australia in a World Cup final. I want that to happen because in 2003, I was extremely upset. I almost cried. So I want to see that happen. But if it's and of course I love South Africa and I don't want to see India beat South Africa in a final.
If it's not India, Australia, and it doesn't really matter who wins that one, because India reaching the final will be a task which I think will be Dhoni's best achievement ever. If he reaches the final this time, and its possibility. But if it's not India, then South Africa beating Australia will be the perfect culmination of this World Cup, because cricket needs a new champion. Australia has dominated for too long, and for any sport, a new team becoming champions is always good news.
Thank you so much, Atul. Thank you, Melvin. This is 94.3 Radio 1 Happy Hours, and you can catch us live in action. Just log on to Cricket All Around Facebook page or Radio 1 Pune Facebook page. Click the link, see us live. With me is MJ Tarun in the studio. I will not let him speak any further. But you can send me your requests now. So just type one space, dekar aapka naam, aapka request, send it to 53650. I'm right here. Thank you. Over to you.
All right. When is it Happy Hours in High Spirits? I've heard so much about that place.
It is wonderful. When are you coming?
I really want to come. I mean, I heard so much about High Spirits. I mean, it's just people are talking about it even in Delhi and everywhere, all through.
In Pune or Ahmedabad?
In
Ahmedabad, happy hours means nothing. You need a permit.
Ahmedabad is sadly very dry.
I was there last week.
You should come down to Ahmedabad. We'll be dry, but we're happening.
No, you need
make
your alcoholics card.
You should make
you got to show it around that you cannot do without a drink.
Sorry, I'm not able to give. There's a lot of disturbance.
Pijosh, I'll have to ask because we only have about another 10 minutes to go. I'm sure you want to go in there as well.
I just want to quickly get Atul in. If I can quickly have Atul's thoughts on tomorrow's big game. India versus South Africa. Who are going to be your game changers tomorrow?
The usual suspects are always there, but I would feel that it's time for somebody we are not actually reckoning with. And I think Umesh Yadav for me is somebody who can turn it around. For too long we have not had a express fast bowler, and this guy is amazing. I was so upset when he got dropped off in the middle for the England tour, and selectors did it to so many bowlers, and I thought, here we go again. They're going to do it to him again. They'll force him to become a medium pacer, because as a fast bowler you will get hit on days, but on days you will win matches. And that's the difference between in Pakistan. They asked me, why are the fast bowlers, and Wasim and Bakar used to discuss, because the captains there, the system it tells them to just go out and bowl fast. Your job is to bowl fast. Outswing, in-swing, off-cutters, you will come to learn in time. But right now, job is here. And they go out there, they get hit, but they are again told to bowl fast, because fast bowlers is not something you go and buy in big bazaar. Fast bowlers are born. You can't teach anybody how to bowl fast. If somebody's bowling fast, you let him do that, and in time he will become a player. Umesh Yadav got hit around. The selectors lost faith with him. So then he is forced to learn the tricks of the trade to survive. This is what happened to me also. I used to be 145 plus, but then I realized if I have to survive in Indian cricket, you have to take wickets. because nobody's got the patience just to see you bowl fast. And I think Umesh Yadav's this coming back, as you know, told me. I think after Kapil Dev, I mean Srinath, Zahir Khan, he's our best bet, and we have to invest in him.
All right. Invest in Umesh Yadav. That's the message.
Fantastic. So your pick tomorrow. What would Dhoni do if he wins the toss?
Again, I would see that Melbourne is a relatively easier pitch, not like Brisbane or Perth, which are way fast. The Gabba is the fastest now. Perth used to be the fastest when we toured, but I think if Melbourne is the way Melbourne plays, I think India should bat first, and then even though our bowling is weak, India should bat first and hope to get 300 plus runs, 300 scoreboard pressure, and you got to get two players out. Hashim Amla, AB de Villiers, the match will turn your way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Atul, for us.
Thank you.
Over to you in the studios, Del.
All right, and anybody else going on air? We only have about another 10 minutes to go.
I guess we sorted. I guess we sorted.
All right, sorted. All right. Okay, so India, South Africa, it's on for tomorrow. And Imam, I would love you to come in right now and tell us what do you think it's going to be, the result?
The result, whatever the result, I think, Melbourne, Atul, I think that tomorrow's game will determine and tell us what directions is Team India and Team South Africa are heading. They're two completely different teams when they came to the World Cup. South Africa are coming in with the favorite stack because the conditions are something which favor them. Indians are coming in, as Atul said, it's not one of India is not one of the favorite teams he has right now, and I completely agree with him because nothing tells us that we are going to win it because last 3-4 months we didn't do anything at all. But again, 92 World Cup, Pakistan went to Australia, didn't do a lot. First few games they lost, but they helter-skeltered their way into this knockout phase and they won the competition. So I think tomorrow, if India somehow manages to beat South Africa, it's not going to be easy. And one question which you asked Atul a few moments ago: what strategy should we go for AB de Villiers? The best strategy to go is to have no strategy at all, because AB de Villiers is a kind of a batsman. You have a fast bowler coming in, he can hit you third man, he can hit you long on, he can hit the same shot over mid wicket. So I think the only good thing that the Indian bowlers can do is bowl a consistent line. If he's getting hit, no problem. Get hit in the same area. At least MS Dhoni can set a field, and if AB de Villiers misses one, he can get caught. Or else, my observation, Atul, is that ABD always has this problem against the off spinner. He's tempted to go over the top. Sometimes, if you beat him in the air, I think there's a big chance of him getting out at long on. Similarly, the way he got out in the last few matches, which I have been seeing. So I think Dhoni's strategy is very simple. Pressure is on South Africa, not on India, because we are not the favorites. So I think that will help them, considering we have beaten Pakistan in the last game.
Just a second before you answer.
Teams who have actually who are not winning, who are losing, and who have been losing prior to the World Cup, and they are saying, these teams are saying, oh, we don't want to peak early. I think we are getting our losses out of the way now, and we start winning. And on the other end, the teams who are winning now, this is how important it is to get the momentum of winning. So everybody is saying whatever suits them. But AB de Villiers, sometimes I feel that big players, when they are in total command of the game, you have to actually hurt their ego. You got to actually get them in a zone where they feel, okay, let me show you how good I am. So again, against AB de Villiers, you try and attack him. Then he will say, okay, you try to take my wicket, I'll show you. Then that I'll show you might get you out. Because nobody is bigger than the game. And when you think you've cracked this game has a funny habit of coming back and biting you in the backside.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that's exactly what happened in the elections as well.
Imam, brother, hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah.
Imam,
Ayush, go ahead.
Do you have a Twitter handle? I'd like to follow you. You're precise.
Yeah, Imam is got it. All right. Ayush, your thoughts on the match?
I don't know. I get this feeling again and again that India might be having a tough time, and God forsake, if you lose the toss, I think we'd be losing the match too.
Toss is going to be.
I don't think
no.
so. That toss is unless, and I'm sure they are so professional at MCG that they will not water the pitch so much that it will be damp in the morning.
Right.
And there's no threat of rain. That means of the match being washed out today. Australia's game and Michael Clark come back.
Right.
But things will be even. And in a 100-over game, the wicket does not deteriorate. Even if it does a little bit of the scuff marks, if India is bowling second, our two spinners will come into play. And we've got Rohit Sharma. And I'm just wondering, Virat Kohli started bowling 4, 5, 7 overs when Dhoni became captain, and now he's in there. He's not bowling at all. He's medium pacers, So I would not be surprised if India can use Virat Kohli for 3, 4 overs just to give that cushion and just to get a backup of any bowler might have a bad day.
All right.
But then if Virat starts bowling, he'd probably remind everyone of Sachin Tendulkar. He too pitched in with the ball and took wickets. The man with the golden arm. That's what Sachin is called.
Yeah, earlier days, when his shoulder was, not fragile.
Not fragile. Yeah, and also I just have to bring up the minnows, Ireland, Bangladesh, and Zimbabwe. They have been winning a few matches. Which one among them do you think is going to probably cause more upsets?
Zimbabwe and Bangladesh, have been around for a long time. It's unfortunate that they have not actually caught up with the big eight, in spite of West Indies trying to catch up with the minnows all the time.
Right.
So it's good for world cricket that Ireland has come through. What happened with Kenya? So much investment has gone to waste. Holland also.
Right.
They've been there for so many years. So world cricket needs more good teams,
Right.
and world cricket cannot just survive by 2 or 3 iconic showcase encounters like India, Australia, and England in Ashes, or India, Pakistan. In world cricket needs to be more.
Right.
So I think it's the prerogative of ICC to actually see how you can push through Ireland into Test cricket now. I think it's time. And Bangladesh and Zimbabwe have been given status. They have not lived up to it. They've been odd games here and there, but they have not been able to push any team so far.
All right. So you actually see so much potential in Ireland.
Because there's a cricket. See, any country which has got a cricketing culture. I played when I was 21. I played one season for Belfast in Ireland. There are clubs. In Southern Ireland, Northern Ireland, it's a structure there under 50, under 19. So that when the culture is there, the ethos of the game is there, you will get players.
Right.
It's very hard to actually get the players in Kenya, where there's no culture about cricket. The natives, UAE, natives don't play. It's only the expats play.
Right.
Scotland still there is So these places where there is a culture of cricket will actually get better in time.
All right. Well, we've almost come to the end of the cricket hangout. So closing thoughts, everyone. The big match tomorrow. Let's get Priyansh in first up. Priyansh, I'm sure everyone's hoping for an Indian victory tomorrow, but realistically, what do you think?
I realistically think that India have chances tomorrow, but I think they need to bat well, score a good total if they win the toss, and I think they can beat South Africa any day because we have batsmen like Virat Kohli and great finishers like Suresh Raina, and we have Raina who is in touch. And if we get an MS Dhoni or an Ajinkya Rahane or even the openers to perform, we'll be right on the track, and we can beat South Africa any day.
Okay, Priyansh saying India will win. Pijosh, what about you? Realistically, our chances. Pijosh, can you hear me?
There's some audio. There's a little problem going on here.
Pijosh, can you hear me now? No.
Recording one more thing.
Okay, Ayush, how about you?
I think India is going to win this one. All the best, India. All the best, everyone. I'd be glued to my television set. No restaurant this time. No breakfast, no lunch. But yeah, I'd be checking it from my home.
Yeah, it'll be all day happy hours. 9 o'clock start.
Not in Ahmedabad. No happy hours. We get 1+1 on burgers. Oh yeah.
What about Pune, Tarun and Anshu? Your thoughts on tomorrow's cricket?
The South African lineup is intimidating.
On air is all about cricket. We're talking about tomorrow's big encounter, India versus South Africa. And joining me right now from the Delhi studios is our cricket expert, Atul Wassan. Atul,
What happened? Okay. You can carry on.
Okay, yeah. Tarun, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, I was saying that South Africa's batting order and the whole team is very intimidating actually. But we're just hoping that we win because it's a very important match. And if we win this one, that will be a victory that we can, say, okay, now, because the last one was an emotional victory more to say, this will be a critical victory that can actually take us further.
I was just hoping that we'll start...
In the bigger picture of things, tomorrow does not make too much of a difference. But tomorrow, if we win, then we are assured to be number 1 or 2.
Number 1 or 2.
That will give us
and the confidence of South
in quarter
Africa.
final.
Yeah,
Yes.
it will
Yeah.
give us
Yeah.
confidence to beat any other team, I think. So,
But having said that, you never know. We just go out and lose to UAE
yeah,
after beating South Africa.
India does that
Because
every
we
once in a while.
have a
Okay,
history of
Anshu.
performance doesn't stay somewhere anywhere average, from sublime to ridiculous. We only have
Yeah,
to.
Indian team doesn't fail to thrill in whichever way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever there is a question of Virat Kohli going back to the pavilion, whenever he's out, उसके बाद का जो order है, उसके ऊपर pressure इतना भयानक पड़ता है. They start giving off their wickets so easily, बहुत बुरी तरह गिरते हैं. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen tomorrow. They don't give in to the pressure of the match. They just play the match. That's all.
See, it's a
And
how
fingers crossed.
strange is that? That we used to feel the same way about a certain gentleman called Tendulkar. That after he gets out, what's going to happen? And now
Yeah.
suddenly after a year, we've just found another another icon. Who,
Yeah.
if he gets out, then we're in trouble.
Right. So Virat Kohli really, like I said, growing in stature from day to day. All right. We'll have to get Imam's closing thoughts as well. We'd love to hear Imam.
Well, to be very honest, Melvin, I think 70-30 to South Africa, being realistic. Key players, Umesh Yadav for India and, Ajinkya Rahane for me. And, if these two players click and the other players play a supporting role, I see India giving South Africa a very hard time. And love to see India win, but if we lose, this is not the end of the road. We can do well. And so one last thing I want to say about the last point which you made about the minnows. I think it will be fantastic if ICC is watching it, if they can come up with something of a format which the English Premier League has of the relegation zone. If you can have 5 teams like Ireland, Zimbabwe, Bangladesh fighting for one spot of the test playing nation, and maximum number of wins in a year brings them to test cricket, I think there'll be a great motivation and a great asset to cricket as well.
Yeah, there is no silver bullet of how to actually progress players, teams to test grade and to demote them. But it's a work in progress. And tomorrow's game, my final thought is that as they say, in the end, everything is all right. If it's not all right, it's not the end.
All right, it's not the end. And Josh, if you can finally hear us, we would love to hear your closing thoughts as well.
Yeah, I want to quickly get Atul's thoughts on this one. How difficult or easy will it be for India to retain the title of defending champions?
Well, I think it'll be as difficult as climbing the Mount Everest blindfolded with one hand tied behind your back. So that's what I said. If India reaches the final, it'll be the greatest achievement ever by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So once I say that, I say a lot.
Yeah, so basically no hope. We are going to, Atul does not think India are going to reach the finals, and it is looking difficult in the tournament with teams like New Zealand. What a performance they just had recently, Australia, Sri Lanka. And like I said, I just want to see Australia and India in the finals and India-Sri Lanka finals in 2011. I mean, we love the fact
how difficult or easy will it be
we
for
love the
India
fact that we
in
won
the title?
and everything, but against Sri Lanka, it's getting a little overdone these days. Anyway, it is goodbye from all of us on the Cricket Hangout. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Atul, for being here. Thank you, Melvin.
Thank you so much, Atul. Thanks, Melvin.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, fans. Bye-bye. Take care.